शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चैतन्यं सर्वगं सर्वं सर्वभूतगुहाशयम् यत्सर्वविषयातीतं तस्मै सर्वविदे नमः। In the verse 16, we are told, Kalpyopadbhirevaitat bhinnam jnanam anekadha. We know very well that in dream, jnanam, consciousness is one. The waking state, it looks like the jnanam is different. Like ghatagyanam, patagyanam, matagyanam. As the object of knowledge changes, looks like the knowledge also changes. So one may think that the knowledge is also changing. Therefore, to understand the nature of knowledge, jnana, like the knowledge of tree, knowledge of pot, knowledge of cloth, etc., to understand that the teacher draws our attention to the experience of dream. Because in dream we know that all there is consciousness, one knowledge. In dream also that knowledge appears to be changing as in waking state. But we know that that change cannot be real. That change is apparent change. Something changes, therefore the knowledge or consciousness also appears to be changing. And to explain that, the example of a crystal is given. How we know that crystal is colorless, transparent, does not change. And still, on account of some color substance that is placed beside the crystal, crystal appears to be changing. And so also in the dream, the change in consciousness that appears to be is because of the mind, basically, that's the upadhi. Therefore, the waking state also, it looks like the knowledge is changing. But the primary minimal knowledge is consciousness, jnanam. That same jnanam, consciousness, appears as vritti jnana with ghatakar vritti, patakar vritti, pot knowledge, cloth knowledge, is because of pot and cloth we are like upadhis. Therefore, pot creates an appearance of partness in consciousness. The cloth, which is object of consciousness, creates an appearance of clothness in consciousness. So it looks like the previous knowledge was pot knowledge, characterized by potness. Following knowledge is characterized by clothness. That potness, clothness, etc. do not belong to consciousness. They are called upadhi. They create an appearance like the color substance creates an appearance of color in the crystal. Similarly also in the waking state. Jagratasya tatha vedaha jnanasyasya vikalpitaha. So jnanam is only one, that is consciousness in primary sense. In the secondary sense, we vritti jnanam, ghatakara vritti, ghata jnanam, part knowledge, we call knowledge. In a secondary sense. And there that knowledge appears to be also changing, not because the knowledge of consciousness changes. The objects ghatapata are changing, therefore vikalpitaha, the change that appears in knowledge of consciousness, like ghatatvam, patatvam, partness, clothness, vikalpa projected upon consciousness. The partness of the part is projected upon consciousness, and consciousness is thought to be characterized by clothness, partness. So the example of dream here is very well utilized to explain the waking state. Buddhistham vyakarotyartham bhrantya trushnodbhavakriya. But this is cleared consciousness that Atma does not change. Then why do we experience change in our own self? Why do I think that there is something within me and without me? So in the internal world of my thoughts, feelings, etc. And an external world of the objects and, objects, feelings, thoughts. So explaining that now. Buddhistam vyakarotyartham bhrante, Buddhistam artham. Artham, the object, like people, like trees, like the world, appears out there. In reality, it is only in buddhi, as in dream also, in the waking also. We said that in the waking also, the situation is not technically significantly different from the dream. Therefore, what is all in buddhi? Bhrantya buddhistam artham vyakaroti. By bhranti, by aviveka, by not recognizing that I am the witness of buddhi, I am not the buddhi. By bhranti, aviveka, by that indiscrimination or mixing up, lumping together, I identify with buddhi, and therefore what is the buddhi? I think it is mine or I. Svatma gatataya kalpayan. So in the buddhi, the whole world is there. Internal world, external world is all in the buddhi, and I think that it is all in me. Within me, without me. So this within and without, the concepts that I have in the waking state, I had them in the dream state also. So the teacher says that in the waking also, these are notions and not reality. All within and without is all in the buddhi. And by identifying the buddhi, I think that there is a world within me and a world without me. Avidya pratyavasthapit antahkarana parinam avastham avabhasayan. What it is buddhi, antahkarana, mind, which constantly changes its nature, its state, avastha. So basically, antahkarana or buddhi itself is a product of ignorance. Avidya pratyavasthapita. Antahkarana, inner organ, the mind, which is the product of ignorance. Parinama, that mind undergoes change, transformation. Ghatatvam, patatvam. Avastham, avabhasayan. So object is in that mind, which is a product of ignorance. Atma, the conscious, eliminates that. Eliminates gata, pata, matha, etc., what all there is in mind, which is a product of ignorance. Tat avivekat, but not recognizing the distinction between The illuminator, the illuminator. That is, when these objects are evident, I am the illuminator of those objects, internal objects, external objects. They all are in the mind, not in me. That vivekam, that distinction is not recognized. And therefore, anekaru prapacham atmani kalpayan. All those things are imagined to be within me. I am divided as I am here within. There is a world without. So the waking state, we suffer from this division of within and without. What is without, I am not that, they are not I. What is within is different from what is without. Trushnodbhava kriya. Swapne tadvat prabodheyo bhaishchantas tathaiva cha. So what is the dream is also similar setup in the waking state. Bhaishchantaha. Waking also, bahi, external, internal. So dream example is given to explain the waking. The waking example is given. In waking now, the teacher gives example of what is written on a piece of paper. Alekhya, you write something, Om Namo Narayanaya. You recite Om Namo Narayanaya. But how did you write the Om Namo Narayana? How did you write on the paper? Because you recite that in the mind, Om Namo Narayana, and then you write in the paper. And while you are writing in the paper, you are also reciting in the mind, because mind follows. A parallel activity is going on. Mind also keeps on saying things that are out there. What is out there is what the mind is saying, what the mind is saying is what is out there. Alekhya adhyayane. Adhyayanam, reciting, chanting, knowing is within. Alekhanam, writing is without. Although in fact it is one. And the Tikakara goes to the extent of saying that the sound has no attribute at all. That sound is then said Om Namo Narayanaya. So sound is now made, given attributes by superimposing that upon the sound. Upon the attribute of the sound, these forms are superimposed first and then written. So Anyonya Apekshatvena. What is written depends upon what is recited. What is recited depends upon what is written. Alekhya adhyanayoho avastutvam. So alekhya, what is written, is not independent. What is decided in the mind is not independent of what is decided in the mind, and what is decided in the mind is not independent of what is written there. Therefore, avastutvam is not real. That vyavahara itself is not real. If what is out there was real, then that what is out there should be appreciated independently. What is out there I cannot appreciate without the consideration. It is from the standpoint of what there is something within. And what is within, namely chanting or recital, cannot be appreciated as within without first branding what is out there. You brand something as out there and then say this is within. Brand something that is within, brand outside. Na vastu sanidhi. Buddhinishtam bhrantya trushnodbhava kriya. How bhranti means aviveka, means identifying with what I am not. They were taking that buddhi and the objects as I. taking them as real outside there. I am confined within. So feeling a sense of lack, and therefore whenever I come in contact with what I think is outside, that outside automatically creates a lack that I am not that. That's called outside. In every interaction that I have with anybody, that interaction is accompanied by this conclusion that I am not that. I am not what that is, what this person is. I don't have what that person has, etc., etc. A sense of lack or want is created. Trishna. Yada ayam kalpayet vedam tat kama san. So when I relate to something other than myself, what is thought to be other than myself? Self has no dimension, therefore it is all inclusive. But because of identification with buddhi, and buddhi is supposedly within, therefore I think I am within, I am limited. So whatever I interact with is without, and that creates a sense of lack or want. Yada ayam kalpayet bhedam tat kamaha san yatha kratuhu. Moment Bheda is projected, the Kamana arises, because with Bheda arises sense of want or lack. So Kamana, desire to become free from the lack, arises immediately. But I cannot accept a lacking I. A lacking I, a wanting I is not acceptable to me. So I want to become free from the lacking I, and that only can be done when lack is given up, and that can be done when I get something which I don't have. See how that works. Basically, I am uncomfortable with the lacking I. And the lack I think is created by this entity. Therefore, I want to become free from lack. If I think that by acquiring that entity I become free from lack, then there is desire, and then therefore resolve to acquire. If by getting rid of something I think I will become free from lack, I want to get rid of it. Tat kamastan tatha kratuhu. Then kratu, resolve arises that I should do this to become free from a given lack. A lack arises. So lack is of different nature. See, lack of money, lack of this, lack of that. So every lack requires a special thing to be done. So therefore, idamaham sadeshe, I will become free from the lack of money, become free from lack of whatever, prestige, respect, discomfort, disease. So different lack creates a different sankalpa or resolve for a given karma which I think will remove that lack. Yat kama tat kratur bhutva krutam yat tat prapadyate. A lack creates a desire, specific desire. Lack results in a specific desire. The specific desire results in a specific resolve to do a given thing, result in a specific action, a specific outcome, and thus I become the recipient of outcome, which creates another lack, and that's how the process goes on. Therefore, now continuing, we already saw तदवता दृश्य यस्मात् सुषुप्तेन च गृह्यते अविद्या प्रभुं तस्मात् इदम् अतस्तस्मादिदं जगत् असत्तस्मादिदं जगत्. All the jagat is only perceived in the waking and dream, not in the deep sleep state. Therefore, the entire jagat is sat, unreal, avidya prabhavam. It is born of ignorance. Ignorance of the true nature of myself, that I am whole, complete, all inclusive, not lacking at all. not knowing that essential nature of myself, that lack I take to be real, really big. Lack may be somewhere, which is superimposed on I, and then I can put I am lacking. And from there the whole series of karma, cause effect starts. Mithya, Jnana, Vijrumbidam, that has created the whole world. The whole world is the product of my karma. Add up your karma, if it is karma, you are the whole universe. Avidya, Prabhavam, Sarvam, all of this is projected by ignorance, created by ignorance. Asat, therefore it is unreal, it is mithya. So from all of these we have come to this understanding that universe is mithya and the product of avidya, ignorance. Meaning that ignorance is the primary problem. Ignorance creates not only mithya world, but also creates the notion of reality about that world. If I know mithya is mithya, there is no problem. I know there is this mirage water, no problem. What is mirage water? And I take it to be real water, that is what the problem is. That is how now the cause of entire samsara, the chain of karma phala, and success, failure, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, raga, dvesha, all of the samsara is traced to avidya. Tarhi jagadhetuhu avidya kidrushi. What's the nature of avidya, ignorance, which is the cause of this jagat or universe? Samsara. Tan nivartika vidyava kidrushi. Avidya is ignorance, darkness can be only dispelled by vidya, which is of the nature of knowledge. What's the nature of knowledge? Kenava vidye jnayate. How do you know what is ignorance? And what is knowledge? First I should know ignorance is ignorance. That's what the problem is. I don't know, this is ignorance. To call raga, dvesha, I don't know. I know raga, dvesha, I should not enter in, but that when something arises in my mind, this is called raga, dvesha, I should know that. So I should know what is ignorance and what is knowledge. To understand what I should do, what should I get rid of and what should I acquire. Iti akanksha vidya vidyeti. So when the akanksha is there, the answer is given in the verse 21. Vidya vidye shruti prokte ekatvanyadayau hinah tasmat sarva prayatnena Shastre vidya vidhiyate. Vidya avidya shruti prokte. Dvandva samas, that vidya and avidya are explained by Shruti herself. Ekatva anyadhyau hinah. Ekatva dvi anyatva dhi. Dhiya, the knowledge, understanding that ekatva, all there is one, is called vidya. And this thinking that these things are different from me and if the anyatva is avidya. So Shastra itself explains what is vidya and avidya. Tasmat sarva prayatnena Shastra vidya vidya. That is the reason why Vidya Shastre Vidhiyate. Vidya is prescribed, enjoined, prescribed in the Shastra. Atma Varat Drashtavya. Hey Maitri, Atma must be known. स Sah Vijijñāsitavya, that must be also known, understood. The Shastra says Atma must be known, Vidhiyate. And also tells us, Sarva Prayatna, Shastra also makes all Prayatna to help us how to gain that Vidya. That doesn't say Atma or Drashtavya, Atma must be known, immediately known, but Shrotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavya. Atma must be Shrotavya, listened to, reflected upon, meditated upon. Shanto, Danto, Paratah, Titikshu, Saddhavitto, Bhutva, Atmani, Atmanam Pashyati. Further, how Shanti, Danti, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhanam. So all of this also is enjoined, or the means are also given by Shruti. Sarva Prayatnena. Shruti also makes all the effort, not only in enjoining or prescribing Vidya, but also educates us in what is necessary for that Vidya to take place. Shruti does all of that. So Tika says, Ekatvanyadhyo Vidya Vidya. Ekatvanyadhyo Vidya Vidya comes from the shloka. But ekatva dhi. So ekatva anya dhyo. Which case? Saptami? Vidya, Vidya. Prathama dual. So Brahmatma ekatva dhi Vidya. Tad bhedadi avidya. Ekatvadhi means what? Brahmatma ekatvadhi. The oneness of Brahma and Atma, the knowledge is called Vidya. Tad bhedadi avidya. To make Brahman to be different from Atma, Atma different is bhedadi, that is called Vidya. It is Swarupokti. This is a nature. Swarup is nature of avidya and Vidya. Shruti Prokte, this is dual all along. So Vidya, Shruti Prokte, both of them are in fact revealed by Shruti herself. Iti Jnapakokti, how do you know? This is Swarupa Ukti. The Swarupa of Avidya is Ekatvadhi, Swarupa Avidya is Anyatvadhi. This is the Swarupa who tells us. Shruti Prokti, Jnapakokti. One who enables us to know, who tells us this is Shruti. Where do you find that? Asayonyam devatam upasate anyosau anyohamiti. Avidya Sutra. In that the Avidya is described as anyam devatam. This is there anyadhi, that's all, this much is quoted. Yonyam devatam upasate anyosau anyohamasti. One who worships devata thinking that devata is different, I am different. Nasaveda pashuve. So that ignorance is described there. Shrutya vedadiya avidyatvam lokanavasiddha ved anuvada rupadaya uktam. The avidya is well known to everybody, but we have to recognize in what thoughts or conclusions we are entertaining. What is that conclusion? That is called avidya. We have many conclusions of which. What conclusion is avidya? Anyoso anyohamasmiti. That devata is different, I am different. Nasaveda, the Swarupa avidya. Shruta bhedadiya avidyatvam lokanava siddha bheda anuvadrupataya uktam. So this bhedadi is experienced by everybody. So Loka Anubhava Siddha. Everybody experiences that you are different, I am different. So what is well known to everybody is brought to our attention. Look, that is avidya. To think that he or she is different, I am different, and which we think, that is called avidya, understand? Loka Anubhava Siddha Bheda Anuvada. The Bheda, that is Anubhava Siddha, experienced by everybody. Anubhava reiterating, bringing that to our attention, hey, this is avidya in your life. What is Vidya? No, Vidya is not known to everybody, to anybody. There was a whole, there was a preface there, introduction, Kimutat Brahma Avet iti apeksha purassaram. In Bhrudanika Upanishad, in 1.4.10 and before that in fact, 1.4.9, exactly, 1.4.9, Kimutat Brahma Avet. Hey, what is that Brahman knew? Kimutat Brahma Avet. What is it that Brahman knew? By which it became all. The question that the Brahmanas are asking among each other, among themselves. What is it that Brahman knew, by virtue of which Brahman became everything? And says, Brahmava idamagrasi tad atmanam eva. What is that Brahman knew, by virtue of which knowledge it became everything? He says, tad atmanam eva. Brahman knew its own self. Did Brahman know something other than itself, by virtue of which it became everything? Or Brahman knew itself? Brahman knew itself. Atmanam Aham Brahmasmiti. Brahman knows that I came to know that I am Brahman. Now this is a very strange thing. Brahmava idamagrasi. This mumukshu who is sitting in front of the teacher is Brahman. Even when he entered his notion that I am a jiva, he is Brahman. And therefore, then by the teaching, then tadatmanam, he came to know his true nature of his own self. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahmaniti, that's how he came to know himself. Tasmat tat sarvam, by virtue of the knowledge he became everything. So question that the Brahmanas are asking among each other is, what is it that Brahman knew, by virtue of his knowledge it became everything? It knew its own self as Brahman. Answer was given. So this is how the nature of Vidya is revealed by Upanishad. It's not common knowledge. Avidya is common knowledge. What is common knowledge? Explain is what avidya is. Iti pravutta pramanabhuta aprasidhartha bodhini shruti agnyata jnapakam pramanam. Pramanam is that which makes us know what is unknown. So my eyes enables me to know this is red color, which is otherwise unknown to me because there is no other way to know the redness or color other than eyes. So until this flower, until the eyes came in contact with the flower, until that the color of flower is not known. Anadhigatam. Because flower cannot be perceived by ears and by skin and by taste and touch. Unknown by other means of knowledge, when eyes came in contact with flower, then the unknown color is made to know. So aprasiddhartha or ajnata jnapakam. What is not known otherwise, the pramanam is that which makes me know. So also Shruti makes me know what is the knowledge which is otherwise unknown to me. I know what avidya is, at least, or they can explain you what avidya is, how it pervades my whole life. But I don't know what vidya is, therefore I have to make me, the Shruti has to make me see what vidya is. Ekatva jnanasya vidyatma jnapayati. When it comes to avidya, Shruti only has to draw. our attention to what we already think, say this thinking is called Vidya. Because Vidya, then Vidya is not matter of our experience. So, should you say, if you experience this, that is called Vidya. Ekatva jnanasya vidyatvam bodhet vijñātam jñāpayati naha asmakam. That's how the Shruti makes us understand, see the knowledge of oneness as Vidya. Tasmat sarapratnena Shastrana Vidya Shrutya Vidya Vidhiyate. Because Vidya is not known to us. The nature of knowledge of non-dual is not known to us and cannot be known to us in any way. For helping us to understand non-duality, Shruti alone is Pramana. So whatever Pramana means of knowledge we have, the perception, inference, etc., they can never make us know non-duality, that I am all these that I am perceiving. That can never happen, can never occur to me. Therefore Shruti recognizes that Vidya is something quite uncommon, unknown, unimagined, unrecognized. Therefore, Shruti makes a lot of effort. Not in this statement, in many statements in the Upanishads, makes a lot of effort to help us understand what Vidya is. Because something quite unknown. Anadhigatam. This non-duality is not known to me and cannot be known. I will never suspect also that my conclusion of duality is wrong. No, I would not suspect. The Shruti has to make me see, hey, this is wrong conclusion. Yasmat avidyavad vidya lokas anubhav siddhana bhavati. Because knowledge is not something that is recognized by people as people recognize ignorance. Tasmat sarprayatnena, therefore, by all the efforts, adhyaropa, apavada, prabandha, nirmanena, nirmanena. So Shruti adopts a specific prakriya called adhyaropa apavada. Prakriya means explain what is going on. What is going on is adhyaropa, recognize adhyaropa. So Shruti first makes us understand how the Jagat that I am experiencing as different from myself is a superimposition. How the sense of smallness I am experiencing myself also is superimposition. Therefore the duality is adhyaropitam, it is superimposed. That's what first Shruti enables me, makes me understand. Then I am ready to drop it. I am ready to drop something when I realize, hey, this is my mistake, this is a wrong understanding, then I am willing to drop it. So first the Shruti makes me understand that the world out there is real and they were different from me. I am different from the world. All of these conclusions, they are born of giving reality to something that is not real. Nothing is out there. Means there is nothing that is separate from I. I is consciousness, we cannot separate anything from consciousness. Something becomes the object of consciousness or object awareness. Well, awareness pervades that. I cannot see you unless my awareness pervades you. I cannot see the sky, stars, anything unless awareness pervades. Thus there is nothing apart from awareness. Is not so? If it is so, I would never know. So right now what I know is within awareness. What I do not know also is awareness is not known. There is nothing apart from awareness. A lot of things are apart from ego, which I think I am. But if I knew the true nature of myself, there is nothing apart from awareness that is brought to my attention. No such thing is out there, no such thing as different. It's all adhyaropa, which can be negated. Negate that. So by adhyaropa, apavada, prabandha, nirmayana sa. Therefore, adhyaropa, prabandha. This whole process of adhyaropa, apavada is elaborately constructed by Shruti. Sadeva somye idamagrasit ekameva dvityam tadaikshata bahusyam prajaya tat teja asrujata. So therefore the Adhyaropa process is explained that Brahman thought that may I become many and that created the element fire. Adhyaropa Prakriya is explained. Then Apavada explained. See the three colors here, all the names and forms are three colors, and three colors are only what is black is not nothing but white, is nothing but red, is nothing but Brahman. So Father. In Chandogya very clearly Adhyaropa Apavada Prakriya is explained. So Shruti wants to great length to help us understand what is projected, what is Kriya Mithya, and helps us understand how to do the Apavada. Vidya vidhyate pratipadyate iti. That's how Shruti makes all the effort. So Vidya is something unknown to us, therefore, to help us understand the nature of Vidya, Shruti goes to great length, in fact, by constructing this prakriya or the method of Adhyaropa Apavada to help us understand the true nature of the self. Iti Mukshu Shastratah Tatparo Bhaved Ityartah. Therefore, Tatparo Bhaved, Vidya Paro Bhaved, therefore Mukshu must be devoted, committed to knowledge. Shastratah, not in his own simple individual. As revealed by the Shastra, the Mumukshu should be devoted, committed to the knowledge by the method by which the Shruti reveals that. Not independently. Shastra chet sarapratnena vidya vipyadyate. From what you say, Shastra is only devoted to revealing the nature of knowledge and method of gaining that knowledge. Both Shastra is devoted to. Sarapratnena. The prayatna is the nature of revealing the nature of knowledge, revealing the method by which that knowledge can be gained. Kimitari sarvopi shastre na pravartate. Then why is it that everybody, we don't find everybody engaged in study and contemplation of scripture? Why not? Pravartamanava katham vidyam na prapnoti. We find many also studying the shastra and still they don't get the knowledge. What's the reason? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddha. Among thousands there is one rare one that even is devoted to Shastra. Yatadam siddharam kaschinma. And of those thousands only one, some rare one knows me. Why is it so? Apekshayam chitta shuddhi abhavad. One simple thing that everybody should know, that first priority is chitta shuddhi. That's what the teacher also wants to emphasizing here. Chitta Shuddhi Abhava, unless we are constantly striving for the purification of our own mind for our own benefit. Not justifying what I am and what I do because somebody, something, what does it matter? I have to look at myself. I'm allowing impurities, I'm justifying my own impurity, that's how we are behaving. Recognize impurity, the mind is impurity. And strive to get rid of that. apeksham chitta shuddhi abhavad abhiparityaha. That is the primary problem, that one does not engage in Shastra also because that the desire for engaging Shastra does not arise in an impure mind. And after engaging also the knowledge that Shastra doesn't take place also because of impurities of many levels. Because gross level impurity, one doesn't have any interest in Shastra at all. But after some purity of mind, there is an interest in Shastra, then also, if there impurity is there, that Shastra doesn't bless you. Tasmat sarapprayatnena. Therefore, chitta shuddhi kartavya iti sheshaha. Therefore, the verse 22 says, Chitte shyadarshavadhyasmat Shuddhe vidya prakashate Yamaya nityaisya yajnaisya Tapo vistasya shodhanam. So tasmat chitta shuddhi kartavya iti sheshaha. Chitte hi adarshavad yasmat shuddhe vidya prakashate tasmat chitta shuddhi kartavya. That's how the vakya is. This is yasmat, therefore. Chitte hi adarshavad yasmat. Because chitte hi, only in the mind, vidya prakashate, that the knowledge shines in the mind only. When adarsavat, as my face shines or revealed in the mirror, so also knowledge is revealed in the mind. Therefore the tika tasmat chitta shuddhi kartavya. Therefore one should make one's mind clean like a mirror. कई उपाय चित्त शोधन विधि. So what are the means or the methods of purification of mind? That question arises next. If that question arises, then this is being said. Yamaihi nityaisya yajnaisya tapovistasya shodhanam. Tasya chittasya shodhanam. That chit shodhanam means purification. Cleaning up. The cleaning up act. Cleaning up of the chittam. Yamaihi nityaihi cha yajnaihi tapovihi. So that's how these are the means by which shodhanam, the purification of the mind, is carried out. Yamaihi ahimsa brahmacharya aste ahimsa satyam aste brahmacharyam aparigraha yamaha. Ahimsa satyaste brahmacharya aparigraha yamaha. Yoga Shastra says ahimsa, non-violence; satya, non-falsehood; brahmacharya, non-indulgence; asteya, non-stealing; aparigraha, non-hoarding; not doing things. Because the mind has natural tendency to do this, therefore don'ts are being told. Niyamaha, what to do? Shaucham, santosha, tapaha, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanam. The niyamas. Tahi nityai, shauchari, niyamahi ityartha. So the tika, the footnote 1 says, niyamais. So yamai nityai niyamaischa. Yamai nityai niyamaischa. That's how the term, not yajnai. So preferred part is niyamai. Yamai nityai niyamai cha. So niyamas are Shaucha, Santosha, Tapaha, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana. Shaucha is what? Antarabahya Shaucham. The Shaucham is cleanliness. External cleanliness of the body, of one's clothes, of an environment, that cleanliness is the first thing that we are told. But Swami said that makes your mind organized, disciplined. Then cleanliness of the mind, of course, Shaucham Dividam, external and internal cleanliness. Shaucham, Tapaha, Santosha, contentment, Tapaha, austerity, Swadhyaya, study of scriptures, or repeating the mantras, Ishvara Pranidhanam, the offering of Ishvara, of one's karma. If yajna hi, then swasana veda dharma hi. By yajna is meant the dharmas or the duties that are enjoined for a brahmachari, grihastha, vanapastha, sannyasi. Ishvara satkrutai tapobhi. Tapasarya performed for Ishvara. So that tapasarya at the level of body, at the level of speech, at the level of mind, the Tikakar will tell us. Tasya chittasya shodhanam karyam. These are all instrumental case. By this, chittasya shodhanam karyam. But all of this means the purification of mind must be carried out. So what is tapaha? Say next verse is Shariradi tapah kuryat tad vishuddhyartham uttamam mana adi samadhanam tattad deha vishoshanam. Shariradi tapah kuryat, Sayam tapah, Vangmayam tapah, Manasam tapah. Tasya swaram bhagavata uktam, Tikakara says, Devadvya Guru Prajna Pujanam Shauchamajavam Brahmacharya Mahimsa Shariram. So word Sharira is used in the shloka, referring to what Bhagavan says. Devadvya Guru Prajna Pujanam. Worshipping devatas, Dvija Brahmanas, Gurus, and Prajna, the wise people. So this pujanam is part of Sharira Tapasarya. Shaucham, external cleanliness, inner cleanliness. Basically external Shaucham here is external cleanliness. Cleaning my body, my clothes, my surroundings, everything. Arjavam is straightforwardness. So Arjavam is explained as sincerity in performing all my duties. So whatever I am required to do as enjoined by the scripture, sincerely doing that is called arjava. Because nobody is watching me all the time anyway, inside, outside. So there is arjavam, there is honesty, straightforwardness in doing what I am required to do. Brahmacharyam is celibacy, ahimsa, non-violence. At the physical level, shariram tapa uchyate is called the tapasarya, austerity, carried out at the level of body. Anudvekaram vakyam satyam prihitam chet swadhyaya prasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Making sure that my words do not disturb anybody. I do not create disturbance in anybody's mind by my words. Satyam, that what I say is satyam, truthful. Priyam also is pleasant. Hitam also is necessary. So a vakya or a speech, character, where all these attributes is called Vangmayam, is called tapasarya. So more than not talking right is tapasarya. Maunam also is tapasarya, not speaking. But then if you decide to speak, then you have to speak. Make sure that your speech is characterized by these qualifications. Swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva. So then, what is said is not to do then swadhyaya, repeating Vedas or reciting Patha, etc. Abhyasanam, repeating the Swadhyaya Veda or whatever stotras, etc. Repeating that also is the part of the speech, I mean the austerity of speech. Manaprasada saumyatvam mauramatma vinigraha bhav samsudirittyetat tapo manasamuchyate. Manaprasada, the pleasantness of the mind. Saumyatvam, saumyata, meaning being sensitive, delicate. So not coming out as arrogant or as something rough or, but someone who is sensitive, someone who is, what shall I say, sensitive. So saumyatvam, very important vratam, because if mind is saumya, then the behavior also will be saumya, the words will be saumya. Maunam, silence, atma vinigraha, control of the self, bhava samsuddhi, purity of intentions. So not only what I say outside is good, but then my intentions also must be good. That is called manasam tapa. That is very important. You can be very good talkers, outside. Outside behavior can be very good, which is good to begin with. That is called shariram tapa. But accompanied by good words also, vachikam tapa, vangmayam tapa. Accompanied by right thoughts, then there is a harmony between the word and the thought and the word and the deed. Bhava samshuddhi, that purity of intention, the honesty. Tapo manasam uchyate, that's called the manasam tapa, the tapasya austerity carried out at the level of mind. So, shariradi tapah kuryat tad vishuddhyartham uttamam tapah kuryat. Then exalted tapas or austerity to perform. What is that? Etanyapi satvikani anusthayani. Lord Krishna divides them into satvika, rajas, tamas. So, all these tapasarya also should be satvika. The rajas, tamasani. Tata satvika tapo lakshanam Lord Krishna gives. What is the characteristic of the satvika tapa? Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastat trividam narai shraddhaya. There is shraddha that when I perform tapasya in this way, that will bless me. That when I do tapasya, the body, speech, mind, they all bless me. By antagana shuddhi, by knowledge, I acquire grace of Ishvara. The shraddha is there. Tapastat trividam naraihi. Because when you do all this, then it's going to involve effort, exertion, even pain also. I have to keep under check my natural impulses to do. Tapasya means the natural impulses are there which make me say something, or think something, behave some way. I keep that in the check, I can't perform the tapasya. And that involves pain, because I think I should do, my mind wants to do something I do not love it to do. So therefore, when am I willing to undertake that pain? Only when I know that pain is going to help me, not hurt me. That pain is purifying pain. That is when I am willing to also undergo the exertion, the pain, at the physical level, mental level, with shraddha that it is going to bless me. Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Paraya Shraddha is that I don't get disheartened when I don't get the results. When we do something, there is always an expectation of some kind of reward. When it does not come, I get disappointed. Paraya Shraddha Taptam Shraddhaya. I know that this has to be so. Whether the outcome, result comes or not, I know that this is the right way to do. So I do it. Leave to Ishvara to give me the outcome. Tapastatra vidam narahi, this threefold tapasarya is performed with this Shraddha. It is enjoined by Bhagavan. It is enjoined for Mantakan Shuddhi, enjoined as a means of knowledge, enjoined as a blessing to me and to bless my life. Afalakangshebihi. When I perform the tapas, I am not obliging anybody. I am obliging myself. See, phalakanksha, the desire for or the expectation of reward comes when I feel I am obliging others. So I must be obliged. There must be a reward for what I am doing. This is natural. I mean, in every human being, nothing wrong, unusual. Unfortunately, keeps me in samsara. That expectation keeps me in samsara. Because expectation will create ragadvesha. Fulfilled and the expectation will increase. Not fulfilled expectation will create dvesha. Afala kangshibihi yuktehi. Yuktehi. Those who have self-control, those who have focused mind, by them, so yuktehi, both with focused mind, with recognizing that I do not need the reward because that will take away my punya. When I perform this tapasya, etc., creates punya. If that is done with the expectation of reward, the reward takes away that punya. Therefore, there is no net gain. From that exertion, there is no net gain if I do it with desire or kamana, phalakanksha. Aphalakangshabhi yuktehi. Those yuktehi, those with focused concentration of the mind, without expectation of phala. This is all difficult, by the way. But that's why we are told to do it. It's easy, there's nobody will need to tell us. Satvikam, that is called tapasarya. Where this kind of pain happens, the mind resists, revolts, doesn't want to do, wants to justify, or keep on working with the mind. Not be hard with the mind either, but be gentle with the mind also. Saumyat means gentleness, that's what I was trying to recognize. Manah prasad saumyatvam, gentleness in my behavior, is also part of the tapasarya. Gentleness in the mind, there is no gentleness in the words, there is no gentleness in the behavior. The gentleness behavior cannot go too long. If it is not accompanied gentleness, it will come out in the words. And then come out in the thoughts also. Yuktehi. So all of these are kept in mind. Satvikam parichakshare. So this tava uttamam tava sarya tapah kurya uttamam tapah kurya. Perform this tapasarya, satvik tapasarya. Manadi sama tad vishuddhyartham uttamam. Tad vishuddhyartham is what? Chitta vishuddhyartham. For vishuddhyartham, for purification of the mind. Mana adi samadhanam tattad deha vishoshanam. Mana adi samadhanam iti adipadat bhashyendin samadhanam. Focus, concentration, self-control of mind as well as sense organs, of action and perception. Samadhanam naishalyam. Tattat deha vishoshanam. Tatra tatra iti asmine tatra means tatra tatra. Tattat means tatra tatra. Tatra tatra means in sharire, in vachi, in manasi. At this level, samadhanam. Naischalyam, Nischalata. Teshu toishu rutushu deha vishoshanam. And tapasya of deha vishoshanam is also there. In different rutu, different vishoshanam. Shitoshna, Varshavata, Sahanena. In winter, subject ourselves to suffering from cold. In Ushnata, suffer the heat. In Varsha, suffer the rain. In Vata, suffer the Vata or the breeze or the wind. Sahanena. Krushikaranam, here we enclose ourselves in safe enclosures, so we protect ourselves. Is all that I am not suggesting. But in the olden days they didn't have that. So we were living with nature, and there were all these natural forces one had to put up with. Ityartha. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.